It's no secret that WWE over the years has made a lot of mistakes, including the including some championship excuse me, some including some championship changes, title defenses, and everything else in between. It's also been well documented that WWE has released a lot of their talent for various reasons. Whether it was Hulk Hogan and his testimony against WWE many moons ago, or whether it was Scott Hall for his attitude, if you will. Then again, former AAA Mega Champion Alberto Del Rio, or now Alberto El Patron, for his attitude, having a very bad attitude, and that was what got him into trouble numerous times. Or whether it was Enzo Amore for his ego, his attitude, and his loud mouth, getting him into more trouble than Conor McGregor's chaotic bullshit in the UFC. However, WWE might have just made the biggest mistake of them all, and that was releasing 3 superstars that most people believe should have re-signed, should have signed a new deal. Those 3 are as followed: Valhalla, Carlito of the Judgment Day, and of all people, R-Truth. This piece of news came over the weekend, as R-Truth went to X and said that he was not going to re-sign. Now, obviously, we all thought that it was going to be a goof, because typical R-Truth doing typical R-Truth things. We all thought that he was just pranking us, just to make us laugh. But unfortunately, that was not the case, as it was reported by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, that R-Truth was not lying. He actually is not renewing his deal with WWE because WWE chose to not renew his deal. WWE chose. Same thing with Carlito, and apparently Carlito mentioned that he owed WWE money for some weird reason. And as far as Valhalla goes, this is actually a bit of a weird one, because of the fact that this isn't the first time that Valhalla got released from WWE. Excuse me. For a very dumb reason. In fact, when her and Eric were expecting their first child together, WWE literally put her on maternity leave, but ended up releasing her later on. So for her to come back, and then just for to be with WWE for like a year or two, and then end up getting released again, kind of a dumb ordeal. But as far as Carlito goes, unfortunately, I believe the reports said that he was not going to re-sign. He was not going to renew his deal with WWE, as he intended to only stay with WWE for only a couple years. Obviously, this came. Carlito made his impactful return to WWE during the COVID-19 pandemic in the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble match, and then showed up the very next night on Raw, and that was the last time we saw him in WWE until 2023, where we saw Damian Priest battle Bad Bunny in a San Juan street fight. this obviously led to the rest of the Judgment Day showing up, the entire LWO showing up, which included Rey Mysterio, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, Santos Escobar, which we didn't expect Santos to be a babyface at that time, but at that time, here we are, right? And then of course we saw a crazy return in none other than Savio Vega, once a member of one of the most underrated factions in WWE, known as Los Boricuas. Hell of a faction, very underrated. And then of course Carlito showed up one night only, came back later that year, literally joining the LWO full time before turning his back and joining up with the Judgment Day. Now, with Carlito, we found out that he went back to his homeland in Puerto Rico to some promotion where he once again became their world champion, which congrats to him, by the way. But we found out that all three of their contracts with WWE were going to expire, not literally, at some point next week. And we knew that there was no trace of Carlito whatsoever, because Carlito's PS5 wasn't even in the Judgment Day clubhouse, and they literally didn't bring up Carlito whatsoever. In fact, some people believe that the reason why Carlito left WWE was because of the fact that Finn Balor never wanted Carlito in the group to begin with. Some people believe that, but in reality, WWE just ended up choosing not to sign a new deal for Carlito. Now, as far as R-Truth goes, this run that he had in WWE wasn't his only run. In fact, during the war between WWE and WCW, and of course ECW getting involved into the mix, R-Truth was once known as K-Quick, and he had aligned himself with WWE Hall of Famer the Road Dogg Jesse James, who is now obviously a backstage WWE producer. They went on to become tag team champions together. Truth became hardcore champion before ultimately leaving WWE later in 2001. Ended up joining with TNA for several years. Left TNA, and then in 2008 he returned to WWE, obviously as R-Truth, and had such an incredible run with WWE. 2 US titles, 2 tag titles, 52 24/7 title runs, quite literally, and yes, it is no goof. It wasn't a goof. Literally over 50 times he had been 24/7 champion. He had several opportunities at world title matches, Royal Rumble matches, Money in the Bank. He had done everything that he set out to do, but R-Truth was in the prime of his career. He was at a point where he's there for our entertainment. He was there for the comedy, and WWE literally chose to not renew his deal. In fact, if you guys saw Monday Night Raw this past Monday on Raw, we saw the fans literally hijacking the show, chanting, "We want truth, we want truth, we want truth," and then some fans would chant, "What's up, what's up, what's up," as literally they were hijacking the show to the point where if you were to watch it now, like today, today, which is Thursday, if you were to watch it today on Netflix, literally they would cut that out and put in other chants like "This is awesome," "This is awesome," or things like or some weird chanting bullshit like that. Some weird shit. Um, it's weird. It's weird because CM Punk, when as soon as Raw went off the air, he trolled the fans that night, and was like, "How dare you chant someone's chant the name of someone who doesn't go here anymore, blah blah blah." I think this proves that Punk loves to troll people. He loves to troll the fans. That's just CM Punk. Honestly, I think this may have been probably one of the biggest mistakes ever, but at the same time, in a manner of speaking, this makes sense because of the fact that some people within WWE believe that R-Truth was getting paid too much money, and they wanted to get rid of some people due to those budget cuts. In fact, several WWE superstars have unfollowed WWE and basically cut all ties with WWE on their social media platforms, including The Miz, Gunther, Rhea Ripley, and even also John Cena himself. John Cena and the current WWE champion even posted on his Instagram a photo of R-Truth as if it's a sign, like as if he's trying to tell us something. It's possible that it was his way of, saying goodbye to R-Truth, or it could have been Cena's way of saying, you know what, you guys want R-Truth, I got you guys, I got you. Let's bring him back. Let's bring back R-Truth, and I'll turn babyface again. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's a possibility. Is it really? Absolutely. It is possible, but we really don't know for sure. No one knows, and it's weird because we did not expect Saturday night's main event a couple weeks ago to be R-Truth's last appearance in WWE. We did not expect it. In fact, if I remember correctly, I believe R-Truth has officially, if I am seeing this right, excuse me. In fact, if I'm seeing this right, I believe. Oh, okay. Well, okay. So apparently, R-Truth is still on the active roster. I believe Valhalla is still on the active roster currently. Yeah. So all three are still on the active roster right now as we speak. Including Carlito. So I believe for Carlito and Valhalla, for all three, they should be moved to WWE's alumni list at some point in the next few weeks. But at this point, it's possible we could see them come back to WWE, but we really don't know for sure. But I think this might have been probably one of the biggest mistakes that WWE has made, mostly for R-Truth, because that was his big push. His match with John Cena at Saturday night's main event in Tampa was his big push. That was like the push that R-Truth had been wanting for years. And for WWE to just do him like that is it's a bit fucked up, to be quite honest. It's a bit fucked up, but I will admit, it's weird because when WWE released Jeff Hardy of his contract back in 2009, we knew full well that at some point, yes, we would see him back in WWE. Same thing with his own brother Matt Hardy. We knew full well that we would see them back in WWE, and they showed up in 2017 at WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. So is it possible to that we could see these guys back in WWE in the next few years? 100%, absolutely. But we will have to wait and see. But I think if WWE wants what's best for the fans, what's best for the fans is to bring back R-Truth. I do believe that Carlito does deserve a spot in the Hall of Fame. Truth, same boat. R-Truth 100% deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. Valhalla, I don't know. I think Sarah Logan has gotten to a point now in her career where she really doesn't want to be in the business all that much, but we'll have to wait and see. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.